Hey guys, welcome back to Paper Made Me Do It. I'm working in my Hobonichi Cousin Avec today, doing a little journaling, and ironically, it's some catch-up journaling. Here we are 1 week into the new year, and I had set a goal for myself not to fall behind on my daily journaling. And within 1 week, I found myself 4 days behind, just in a blink. Real life, crazy how it happens sometimes. So I decided that I would take some time today and knock those 4 pages out. And thankfully, everything was still kind of fresh on my mind in terms of activities that we had done during the weekend and first of the week. So I just made some quick little notes on Post-its and stuck that on each page to kind of remind me what to journal about. I put the days of the week on the top of this spread using Sharpie brush pens. They are super easy to control with a firm tip, so I love using those for hand lettering. And then this little sticker set that I'm using here was just opened from the August stationery selection box. I'll put a link to that website in the description below. But I'm a member of the monthly subscription to the stationery selection box, but she's also recently restocked some previous boxes, and I had ordered an August box, and the little stickers came in that box. They're little washi stickers. And that tape that I laid down at the bottom of the page, it's not really washi tape. It's made by Scotch, and I found it at our local Office Depot. But I thought it was cute because it looked like a ruler and added some bright color, so it's more of a thicker masking tape than washi tape. These little brush pens that I'm using now also came in that August subscription box, and this is my first time to use them. They write very similar to the Sharpie brush pens in terms of pretty easy to control. The tip is firm, but it's a little bit longer than the Sharpie brush pen tips, which allows you to get a much thicker downstroke for some pretty dramatic lettering. They are really light, like more of a highlighter than an opaque marker. So I'm gonna have to do a little thinking about how to use them. I think there's gonna be a lot of creative ways to use them, and they're probably not going to bleed through hardly any kind of paper because they are so light in color. So I just went in with a Jetstream ballpoint pen to outline that lettering because it was so light. I really like these Jetstream pens. I picked them up at an Office Depot as well. They are a ballpoint that write almost exactly like the Hobonichi pens, but these happen to be a 0.7 in the nib size or the pen size. So they're just a tiny bit bolder than the Hobonichi pen that is in a 0.5. But I use that pen for a lot of, or maybe all of the journaling that I got caught up on today. Going back in with a Sharpie pen here. I use the home sticker at the top of the page because it's pretty rare for me to be home all day on a Saturday, but this past weekend I actually was. And so I'm just making notes of cleaning the house, doing laundry, and that little tearaway calendar came from a previous stationery selection box. I'm using a lot of those products today. Just laying down some washi and making it kind of like a little tip in. I've wanted a tearaway calendar for so long, and this is my first time to have one, so I was really excited when I saw it in the subscription box. I don't know if I looked for them at the wrong time or what, but I've just never been able to find one before. I think that they're probably made in like smaller batches, and once they're gone, they're gone. I don't think they're reproduced or restocked throughout the year because they are dated. So, anywho, I was glad to finally get my hands on one. And then I'm going back in with that jet stream and doing a little journaling about the day. Going through some printables that I just ran off. These are from Courtney Diaz at Little Raven Ink. Using my Tim Holtz tonic scissors to fussy cut this cute little blue monster dude. And I recently bought a new laser printer. I used to have an inkjet printer and it finally bit the dust. So I got my first laser printer recently and I am loving it. It was pretty affordable, I think, for a laser. It was under $200. I ordered it off of Amazon and it's Wi-Fi everything, wireless connection. And y'all know I'm super tech challenged. So for me to be able to set it up myself, which I think that says a lot. But it was easy to connect, and it even connects to my phone. So what's really cool about the printables now is when they release, I receive a notification email, and the email contains the PDF files within it. So this was the first month that I realized I could click on each file from the email on my phone and then just click print and print it wirelessly on my laser printer. So that was a super quick and easy process this month to print all my printables directly from my phone. I was proud of myself. That little book cutout that I put under the calendar was part of a Flow magazine image. I'm just adding a little washi there. And then going to the right side of the spread, adding in the weather that I'm just copying from my Hobonichi Weeks planner. Getting out some more of the Sharpie pens. You can use them like that to color in. And then I'm going in with another one of those highlighter type brush pens. Writing out the word church. You can see I started to outline with the ballpoint pen and I could tell it was wanting to skip a good bit because that highlighter brush pen ink wasn't quite dry. So that's why I stopped to give it a minute or so to dry, and then I'll go back later and outline the letters. But we went to church on Sunday morning and the theme of the service was Start Strong, kind of a nod to the new year. And then going in with that same jet stream to do a little journaling about the day. So we had a nice day. It was kind of productive too. We started out with church that morning and then afterward went and had lunch together at Grub in town. It's Grub Burger Bar. I don't know if that's like a national chain or just a local thing, but their burgers are so good. They're so juicy. So the kids love to eat there. We used to eat there fairly often and we haven't been in a good while. So they were happy to go back. So after lunch there, we went and bought groceries for the week. And then after we came home, we had some company over, had some friends and their kids. And then I cooked a taco bar, which, I mean, kids and adults alike like that here at my house. So we had tacos together and visited, but I like to do the taco bar where everyone can just make their own, because the kids usually keep it super simple with just like the taco meat, some shredded cheese, maybe sour cream. But I like to have other things available for the adults to add, like grilled onion and bell pepper. I did a spicy corn with rotel tomatoes and cilantro. Just have some little extra add-ins like that, so that was good too. Had a lot of food this weekend. It's a good thing I started back to Camp Gladiator this week, because I'm gonna need to get active again. Laying down a little washi on the bottom. Took the other tearaway calendar for the 5th and kind of cut the edge off just to change it up a bit. And I like how the weekend has different colors. So the 4 being blue and the 5 being red. All of the days throughout the week are printed in black ink. So I thought it was cool that the weekend is a different color. And I love, love, love that little owl printable that's under my arm right now, the owl monster. Super, super cute. That was one of Courtney's Little Raven ink. And I can always outline the block print letters so much faster than the cursive for some reason. It takes me a little longer to do the cursive, as you can see. But I do think it's worth it. It just sets off the letters. And if y'all outline like this, I don't know if you intentionally do this or not, but I do like to offset my outline. So I forgot to cross the T, went back and added that in. I like to offset my line sometimes to give a little interest to it. So in other words, instead of perfectly outlining the colored ink that is down, you can see like at the bottom of that N, if you'll notice, I'll intentionally go beyond and leave some white space. I just like the way that looks. And going back in with the Sharpie brush pen to write first weekend of the new year. And I think start closing, close this spread out with just some little cross hatches just for decoration. And I end up doing like 3 different colors that coordinate with the inks that I had already used in the lettering on the page. And I don't think it's shown in this video. I'm pretty sure I went back and did it after the fact, but I did go back on the left side of the spread on Saturday and take the yellow Sharpie brush pen and just make some small polka dots all over the entire page. And that kind of tied in. I didn't intentionally do that, but I noticed that I had yellow watercolor in the background and then the yellow plaid washi and the bright yellow tape on the bottom. So when I went back and added the yellow polka dots to the page, I thought it really tied it all together and looked cute and bright. I'll try to take a picture of that finished spread and put it on my Instagram at Paper Made Me Do It. So I had some extra space below the journaling, so I went and just wrote the ingredients of the taco bar like I mentioned. And that is it for Saturday and Sunday, but as I said, go big or go home, right? If you're gonna get behind, why not get behind 4 days? So here we move on to January 6th and 7th. And I had just completed the 6th on the left. I did not film that just for time's sake, and it's also mostly traditional journaling, writing. Did more writing on that day, so we'll just look at the process for the 7th. These stickers are so old. I'm fairly sure that I bought them at Michael's several years ago. They would have been in that kind of scrapbook stickery aisle that has all the stickers hanging. But the 7th or Tuesday of this week, we had to send the kiddos back to school from Christmas break. Makes me sad. I enjoy it when they're out. This is another printable from Courtney. She really knocked it out of the park this month with these new little owl monsters. They're really inspiring me, so I need to do some sketching of my own and kind of make some friends to go with them. Just using those Tim Holtz scissors to fussy cut again. And this little glue stick I'm using, I really love. I had a handful of them and I'm down to, I don't remember if this is my last one or maybe one more. I'm thinking it may be my last one. And I've seen several comments online that I don't think that brand is made or sold anymore. So if that's the case, I'm really going to be disappointed because they are really easy to use. I like the texture of them. And I just picked them up at Michael's a long time ago, just, you know, assuming that they would always be there. If I had known they were no longer going to be available, I would have stockpiled those babies. But if y'all have another glue stick that you use in journaling that you like, please let me know in the comments what brand it is or what style. So unfortunately, I think that is my last one, so I'll probably be running out soon. Just went in with another Sharpie brush pen to write the day of the week and going in with that same Jetstream 0.7 ballpoint to do a little journaling. On the 6th, I used the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher to staple the tearaway calendar page to a tip in that kind of coordinated with the graphic on the bottom of the page. And then I went over the little staple with washi tape at the top of the page. And that has nothing to do with the staple, the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher not being secure. It has to do with that tearaway paper. You can see that it's quite thin, and just by me kind of bumping it with my hand throughout this process, I could tell that it was already moving, and I was afraid that it would pop off quickly if I didn't secure it somehow. So that's why there's washi over the staples. I'm just gonna lay down some washi over the top of the 7th. And I can't remember if I journaled. Okay, yeah. I'd already done a little bit of journaling behind that, and I think I did go in after the fact again and take advantage of that space at the bottom, do a little more journaling, and I think I laid down a strip of washi down there too. I'm going in now with that ballpoint and just jazzing up the page a tiny bit with some little flower doodles. I do these fairly frequently because they're super quick and easy. The messier you do them, the cuter they look, I think. And I just vary the size of those. And making sure everything looks kind of balanced, and that is it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Y'all have a great week, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.